In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome inside Royal Braun Pavilion in Seattle, Washington. I'm Greg Sexton, and you're watching the SBU webcast. Good ball game coming up here. Good matchup, I should say. We'll see how the ball game goes. But the Falcons coming in with a record of 8-11 overall, 4-4 in GNAC play. They just defeated Alaska Anchorage on Thursday night, 64-60. University of Alaska, Fairbanks, the Nanooks, I should say. They come in with a record of 9-8 overall. They are 5-3 in conference. They are coming off a loss in Billings on Thursday night, and Billings snapped a 5-game losing streak with that win over the Nanooks. But the Nanooks trying to get back in the win column in this one here. If the Falcons can get this one, they will pull even with the Nanooks for a fourth place. They would be in a fourth place tie in the conference standings at 5-4. But the Nanooks are trying to go to a 2-game lead over the Falcons here with a win this afternoon. Northwest Nazarene sits on top of the conference 7-1. St. Martin's and Central Washington both 6-2. Fairbanks currently in fourth by themselves at 5-3. Frank Ostanek back as the head coach of the Nanooks after a stint back in the mid-2000s. He had 3 seasons as the Nanooks head coach and comes back to lead the program again. And Kefri Fazio in his second year leading the Falcons. He was an interim head coach last year. They removed the interim tag. Let's get you the starting lineups quickly here. Chris Lee, a junior out of Ketchikan, Alaska. Paul Johnson, a senior out of Seattle, went to O'Day High School and then went to the University of Puget Sound in Tacoma, transferred to Alaska Fairbanks. Isaiah Sams-Hoy, a junior out of San Jose, California. Jalea O'Keefe, a redshirt senior out of San Diego as well. Sams-Hoy is out of San Jose. Elion Zevenbergen, a junior out of Edmonds, Washington. He is in the circle. Jackson Knapp is also in the circle for the Falcons, and Knapp wins the tip. And the Falcons begin play with the first possession, and the Nanooks pressuring in the backcourt. But the Falcons get it across, and Jonas Latour loses it, gets it back, gets it to Knapp underneath, kicks it out to Schoenerstedt for a 3, and that one is off the mark. Took a high bounce, came back down. Knapp ends up with the rebound, but can't connect on the shot, and Zevenbergen back the other way for the Nanooks. As Zevenbergen will get it to O'Keefe. And now he gets it back to Zevenbergen, who takes it to the bucket, puts it up and in, and draws the foul. And the Nanooks with a good first possession here, as Elion Zevenbergen will get to the free throw line. He's got a brother, Shiloh, on the roster as well. They're both juniors. And Elion, though, 3 inches taller than Shiloh. And Elion in the starting lineup knocks down the free throw. Falcons lineup has Owen Moriarty, a senior from Seattle, also went to O'Day High School, opposing Paul Johnson. And Paul Johnson is guarding Owen Moriarty. Now Knapp with it, a 3 on the way, and that one is off the mark. And the rebound into the corner And the Falcons will keep it. Jackson Knapp, a junior out of Newcastle, Washington, transferred from the University of Montana. Jonas Latour, a redshirt sophomore from Poulsbo, Washington. Mason Landek, a redshirt junior from Kashmir, Washington. Here's Moriarty, and he's going to step inside the arc and get it to Latour, who gets it to Knapp. And Knapp trying to get up a shot, and he does. Had to hesitate there and gets the shot up and puts it in. Nakia Schoenerstedt is a junior out of Vienna, Austria, and he's wearing 33, now standing in the paint. Here is a three from O'Keefe, and that one's off the mark. The rebound to Lee, and he can't get that shot to go. A little too strong off the back iron. And the Falcons back the other way with Landek coming down the left side. They kick it around the perimeter. Here is Latour taking a three, and that one's off the mark. And the rebound back the other way. Chris Lee back to O'Keefe. And now it'll be Sams Hoy driving, pulling up over Latour, and couldn't get the shot to go. Knapp in there for the rebound. Jackson Knapp averaging over he's at 9.5 rebounds a game, which is I believe tied for first in the conference. It was on Thursday anyway. Here is Jonas Latour putting up a three, and this one is good from the left wing. And Jonas Latour has the Falcons in front now, 5-3. Chris Lee back the other way for the Nanooks. Here's Zevenbergen at the top. Gets it to O'Keefe on the left wing. He'll kick it out to Johnson in the corner. And Paul Johnson knocks down a three to give the Nanooks the lead back at 6-5. Zevenbergen converted a three-point play, and now Johnson knocks down a three. And now this one gets away from Moriarty, out of bounds. The Nanooks will take it back. 17:01 to play first half. The Nanooks have 5 players that average in double figures, and they average over 79 points a game. But Lee, Sams Hoy, Johnson, O'Keefe, and Zevenbergen, their starting lineup, they all average over 12 points a game. Zevenbergen actually averages exactly 12. And that one is good from Elian Zevenbergen. And the Nanooks up 8-5. Falcons with Moriarty at 15.6 per game. And that shot is off the mark from Landek. And O'Keefe lost it momentarily, gets it back. Trace Evans is on the bench for the Falcons. Got a lot of starts prior to injuring his shoulder. They're trying to limit his minutes. Zevenbergen, another bucket off the glass. And it is 10-5 now. Zevenbergen with 7 points in the early going. They have Jackson Knapp and Jonas Latour also both over 10 points per game. And then Mason Landek at 8.9. And here is Moriarty. Has it knocked away. Sams Hoy is going to get fouled. And that's going to take us to our first media timeout with 15:46 to play in the first quarter. The Nanooks create a turnover there. And the foul called on Latour. We'll step aside on the SPU webcast. Nanooks with an early 10-5 lead. We'll be right back. Back inside Royal Growing Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you on the SB webcast. 10-5, Alaska Fairbanks with the early lead. And Elion Zevenbergen already with 7 points to lead the way for them, as they will have possession coming out of the timeout as they created a turnover on the Falcons' offensive end. This is Jalea O'Keefe. Will leave it back for Paul Johnson. Johnson back to O'Keefe for a three from the top of the key is off the mark, and Trace Evans with the rebound. As Evans has checked into the game, as has Henry Sandberg. They've both gotten a lot of starts for the Falcons earlier in the year, and have both missed some time recently. Landek gets it to Evans, and now Landek will get it back in the post to Evans. Evans trying to go to work, now goes back to Landek for a three, and that one goes down for Mason Landek. Landek had 19 against Anchorage on Thursday in the win. Kind of a low-scoring game. 64-60 was the final in that one. Here is Elion Zevenbergen from the top of the key for a three, and that one is off the mark. Rebound to Knapp. And he'll bring it across midcourt. Knapp going to work on O'Keefe in the post. And he'll kick it out to Sandberg. Sandberg going to work on Paul Johnson. Evans kicks it to Landek. Back to Evans. Looks at the shot clock. Sees 6 seconds left. Here's Moriarty, and he's blocked. Out of bounds. Falcons will keep it, but on the shot clock, as Kathan Sadu will check in. And he'll come get Elion Zevenbergen. 10-8, your score. 2 seconds on the shot clock, as I mentioned. And the Falcons need to get something up quickly here. And we get another whistle. And a foul before the pass was thrown inbounds. And it's called on Paul Johnson. As Griffin Effenberger will come into the game now for Fairbanks. Jonas Latour back in now for Owen Moriarty as well for the Falcons. Effenberger out of Spokane, as is Henry Sandberg on the other side. Sandberg went to Gonzaga Prep as Landek tried to get that one into Evans, and last touch, I believe, by Evans, but the Nanooks were able to get a hand on it. They get it back, though, with a 2-point lead, 10-8. This is the second game of a doubleheader. These schools, their women's teams went head-to-head at 2 o'clock, and that game went kind of long, so this one's getting started a little later than the scheduled time of 4:15. Here's Sadu from the left wing for a three, and he's off the mark with it. And the Falcons with the rebound back the other way. The Nanooks women's team picking up their first win in conference play. The Falcons women's team is 0-9 in conference play. So Knapp in there for the rebound, and ball ends up loose in the corner. And we get a whistle. It'll stay here. That game won by the Nanooks women's team 88-82. And Destiny Reimers played out of her mind in that game in the win for the Nanooks. And the Falcons got a great effort out of Amelia Bishop in a losing effort. But it was the Nanooks prevailing 88-82. What was a high-scoring game with a lot of fouls. The officials now going to review something here quickly. I say quickly, but it might take 5 minutes. We'll see. Not sure if they're just looking to see. I don't think that they would review an out-of-bounds call until late in the first half or late in the game. But they may be reviewing to see if there was anything as far as a flagrant foul. Kefri Fazio looking for an explanation and apparently not getting one that he liked. But it is going to be Falcons' ball here. And they'll get it in to Trace Evans. Landek with it. And he'll take a 3. And that one off the back iron, no good. Rebound is tapped to Chris Lee. And here come the Nanooks. Lee going to take a 3. And that one goes down for Chris Lee. And the Nanooks up by 5. Falcons with it the other way. Here's Landek in the post for Evans. Evans backing down Sadu, and now Lee gets in front of the passing, gets in the passing lane, I should say, and takes it away. And the Nanooks back the other way, leading by 5. Trace Evans guarding Chris Lee, and Lee gets around him. Sandberg comes over, and the shot is off the mark. Long rebound, and it's O'Keefe that's able to get to it. Here's Sadu. Out to Lee. 10 on the shot clock. And Lee dribbling, being guarded again by Evans. Lee over Latour, and comes up empty on the shot. And the rebound secured by the Falcons. They're down 5. And Landek gets a screen from Evans. Kicks it to Sandberg. And now Knapp into the lane. And Knapp, a master there at the post game as he kept that pivot foot. And he was doing a lot of pivoting. As Jackson Knapp puts in the bucket and makes it 13-10. Effenberger gets it to O'Keefe. And O'Keefe tried to slip a pass through to Sams Hoy, but Latour comes away with it for the Falcons. And here they come back the other way. Knapp will get it to Latour, and now here's Evans in the post, going up with the left hand, puts it up and in. And the Falcons back within a point, 13-12. A few players waiting to sub in here, and they're all starters waiting to return to the game. As Zevenberger and Paul Johnson for the Nanooks and Owen Moriarty for the Falcons. And let's see here. It's a turnover, and I don't know if the shot clock ran down there or what the call was, but it's the Nanooks did turn it over there. The Falcons take it back. We get to another media timeout here with 11:11 to play. The Nanooks lead at 13-12. We'll be right back on the SP webcast.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Welcome back inside Royal Brown Pavilion. Greg Sexton with you on the SP webcast. Nanooks with a 13-12 lead, and you may hear me say that a couple of different ways. I believe it is Nanooks, and I had it wrong with Nanooks. Tour loses it to Sams Hoy, and Sams Hoy comes back the other way and sets up a possession for the Nanooks. Here's Zevenbergen. He loses it, but is able to go collect it. And Sadu gets it to Effenberger in the post for Zevenbergen. The Nanooks with 2 Zevenbergens and an Effenberger. And Effenberger will get it to Sadu for a 3, and that one well off the mark. And Latour secures the rebound for the Falcons. Moriarty across midcourt. Falcons with an opportunity to take the lead on this possession. This would not be their first lead if they're able to get it. Here's Latour, a three on the way, and it's good. And Jonas Latour sinks one from deep. And he's got 6 points in the ball game, 2 threes. And we know he's got that in his arsenal. But this year, he really has added a post game. And we've seen him take it to the bucket more this year as well. As he's kind of rounding out his all-around game. He's defending Paul Johnson here. And Johnson gets the shot up, but it's off the rim. Logan Kinlock with the rebound for SPU. Kinlock, a redshirt sophomore out of Yakima. As here's Moriarty looking for somewhere to go with it. Gets it out to Latour. Another three on the way, and that one's short. And Effenberger the rebound for Fairbanks. He's going to think about taking a three and changes his mind. And now Johnson has a wide open three, and he can't connect on it. Sandberg the rebound for SPU. 15-13, Falcons with the lead. They're on a 7-0 run over the last few minutes here. It's been fairly low scoring here to begin this one. Schoenerstedt for Latour, another three on the way, and this one rims out. And Latour has missed his last two. Timeout called here by Fairbanks. And they have not scored in a little while here. So Franco Stanek is going to talk things over. As they are scoreless over the last almost 5 minutes of this game here. SPU on a 7-0 run over almost a 5-minute period here, a 5-minute span. But this will be a 30, so we'll keep it here. Latour with 6 to lead the way for SPU. He is now out of the game, as only one player on the floor, Jackson Knapp, for the Falcons at the moment, has scored in the game. He's got 4. But still early here. And the Falcons with just 15 on the board. Zevenbergen with 7 to lead the way for the Nanooks. And we get a whistle. We're going the other way here. We get an offensive foul called on Chris Lee, I believe. Yeah, he was the one with the ball, and they call him for the charge. Jackson Knapp already with 5 rebounds. Latour with 6 points. And the Falcons with possession and a 2-point lead. Here's Schoenerstedt getting it to Kinlock. Now here's Knapp driving on O'Keefe. And I think they're going to get O'Keefe for a foul here. And it is on Jalea O'Keefe. Trace Evans and Mason Landak back in for SPU. Knapp got in deep there. And O'Keefe didn't like the call. But Knapp was kind of pressing the issue there. As here's Trace Evans backing down on Zevenbergen, and he puts it up over him, the jump hook. And the Falcons lead at 17-13. Evans now with 4 points in the game. Good news for the Nanooks women's team as Churston Martin went down with an injury late in the game, and she's in the stands. No walking boot, no crutches. She seems to be okay. Over there talking with Destiny Reimers. Falcons with a 4-point lead. And Sandberg driving baseline, kicks it to Evans, who is about 2 feet away from him. Evans misses the shot. And the Nanooks take it back the other way. And a three on the way from the corner from Effenberger is no good. Rebound to Landak. 7 minutes to play first half. 17-13, Falcons with the lead. And it's been a few minutes for the Nanooks since they've scored their last bucket. Knapp out to Landak, and now Knapp will send it out to Moriarty, who will get all the way to the bucket and lays it up and in with the right hand. And Owen Moriarty puts the Falcons in front by 6. Here's Chris Lee the other way. And Paul Johnson, Zevenbergen finds Johnson underneath for the bucket. Johnson now with 5 points for UAF. As Falcons with a 4-point lead. Jackson Knapp kicks it out to Moriarty. Moriarty drives and is fouled by Chris Lee. And this will, I believe, take us to another timeout on the floor. The under 8 timeout. We're down close to 6 minutes to go. 19-15, 6:09 to play first half. And we'll be back in just a moment on the SPU webcast. .09 to play first half from Royal Borough Pavilion. Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. Falcons shooting 42% from the floor, and the Nanooks at 32%. Falcons have hit 3 out of 9 from distance, and the Nanooks just 2 out of 11. And just one free throw on between the two sides here. The Nanooks have the one free throw, and it was Zevenbergen right at the beginning of the game, converting a 3-point play. No free throws since that point. Falcons with possession, leading by 4, 6 minutes to go in the half. And Trace Evans backing down on Zevenbergen, gets it out to Landak. He's going to take a 3, and that one is off the mark. And the Nanooks back the other way with it. Chris Lee will get it to Johnson. Johnson being guarded by Latour. Trace Evans gets a hand in there, and the Nanooks get it back. Here's Isaiah Sams-Hoy with a 3 from the left wing, and he puts it in. Sams-Hoy gets on the board. And the Nanooks back within a point. 19-18 is your score as Evans backs down on Zevenbergen. And now O'Keefe comes over and knocks it away. And the Nanooks will take it back with an opportunity to take the lead. And a deep 2 there by O'Keefe, and he puts it up and in. 20-19, and the Nanooks now on a 7-0 run. Here's Knapp. And we get a foul. Did we get a foul there? They did call a foul on Sams-Hoy away from the ball. Couple of subs in Sandberg and Schoenerstedt for SPU, and Sadhu back in for Fairbanks. As Falcons with possession, trying to take the lead back here. Here's Knapp. Getting it to Schoenstedt. He'll hand it back to Knapp, who will hand it to Moriarty. And he'll take a three, and that's off the rim. Rebound to the Nanooks. Back the other way. Here's a three on the way from Sams Hoy, and that one is good. And the Nanooks now with a 4-point lead. And they're on a 10-0 run. It was 19-13 Falcons. Now they're down by 4. Falcons in the front court. And Knapp draws the foul. .410 to play here in the half. And Sadu whistled for the foul there. It's a fifth-year player out of St. Helena, California. As Chris Lee will come to the bench. And Zevenbergen back on the floor. It may have been Effenberger, actually, that just checked back in. One of those two. They're both out there. Here's Moriarty, and he contorts in midair and gets the shot up and in. Owen Moriarty with some creativity midair there. Had to adjust, and adjusted well. Here's Sams Hoy driving on Sandberg and pulls back and puts in the jumper from the baseline. And Isaiah Sams Hoy has 8 in the ball game. And it's a 4-point lead for the Nanooks. Here's Moriarty getting a screen from Schoenstedt. And Moriarty into the lane. And they're going to call him for an offensive foul. And that will give the Nanooks possession with a 4-point lead as we get to another media timeout. 3:24 to go first half, 25-21. Fairbanks with the lead. We'll be right back.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Back inside Royal Brown Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. Nanooks with the ball and the lead by 4. As Griffin Effenberger gets it into the front court, gets it to Sams Hoy. He pulls up and shoots over Moriarty and comes up short. Zevenbergen, though, chases down the rebound and keeps the possession alive for the Nanooks. Sams Hoy to Zevenbergen in the post. Going up against Schoenstedt, goes around him, couldn't get the shot to go. O'Keefe tips it out, and the Falcons will take it back. 2:53 to play in the half. And Falcons trying to get back within a possession here. Sandberg gets a screen from Schoenstedt, and now Knapp will take it in the post against O'Keefe. And Knapp will kick it out to the land deck for a 3, and that one off the mark. Schoenstedt there for the rebound and the putback. And Schoenstedt came flying in for the offensive board. And he gets the Falcons back within 2. First 2 points of the game for Nikias Schoenstedt. As the Nanooks, with now just a little over 2 minutes to play in the first half. Paul Johnson trying to find a shot. Gets it to Sams Hoy. He's going to have to shoot it to beat the shot clock, and he misses. And the Falcons with the rebound. Landak back across midcourt. Under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Falcons trying to tie or take the lead on this possession. And Landak's doing a lot of dribbling, and he throws it off of O'Keefe. And the Falcons will keep it. Trace Evans will check back in for Nikia Schoenerstedt. Jonas Latour will check in as well for Henry Sandberg. And the Falcons will have it with 12 on the shot clock. Landak to inbound to Evans. Evans drives. Looks at the shot clock, sees 5. Here's Latour, a 3 on the way, and that one is short off the front iron. Zevenberg in the rebound, gets it to Effenberger for the Nanooks. Now Johnson with it. O'Keefe gets it back to Effenberger, a deep 3, and that one's off the back iron, and Latour and Knapp both crash the boards for that one. Latour is the one to secure it. And the Falcons back the other way. Again, an opportunity to tie or take the lead here. Evans gets it to Landak. And Landak and the Nanooks able to come up with the steal there. And now Falcons take it right back. Moriarty finding Landak to the bucket. He lays it up and in, and we're tied at 25. Landak filled the lane there. Moriarty saw him and got him the ball. And Mason Landak now with 5 points. Here's Effenberger as the Nanooks try to retake the lead. Johnson driving on Latour, pulls up, and that one is off the back iron, no good. Rebound to Jackson Knapp. Falcons with the shot clock off here, and they're going to get a timeout called as Effenberger tried to come away with a steal. And Kefri Fazio trying to calm down Mason Landak as Landak looked a little irritated there. So he was just trying to get it in the front court and call a timeout. Effenberger was trying to take it away from him. 13.1 left on the clock, and we're tied at 25. Not a particularly high-scoring first half. The Falcons really kind of had a grinded-out win over Anchorage on Thursday night, 64-60. As both teams kind of went cold during certain stretches of that game. 14.1 now. They put a second back on the clock. And the Falcons will have possession after the timeout here. It will be potentially the last possession of the first half, if they run the clock all the way down. They're going to at least try to make sure that the Nanooks don't get it back with a lot of time on the clock. Moriarty will inbound to Knapp, who will hand it to Landak. And Landak going to put one up over Effenberger, and I don't think that's what the Falcons wanted there. Paul Johnson the other way, and Johnson's going to get all the way to the bucket. He couldn't get it to go, but he's going to draw the foul. And Johnson will go to the free throw line. Latour commits the foul. And Johnson will have an opportunity to put the Nanooks in front at halftime here. 0.7 left on the clock. So, assuming the Falcons don't get a shot to fall in that period of time. Johnson's free throw is good. Paul Johnson's played a few games in this gym with Alaska Fairbanks and with Puget Sound. And Johnson averaging 14.4 per game, is an 80% free throw shooter. Gets the first one to go, and we'll have another opportunity. I think if you're the Falcons there, you try to run more of that clock down, and Landak decided to put up a shot immediately, and he will not try to put one up from under his own basket here. The Nanooks take a 2-point lead into the locker room, 27-25. And we will step aside here on the SP webcast for about 9.5 minutes. We will come back with a recap of the first half, and we will take a look at scores from around the GNAC. And we will have that coming up for you later on in halftime. Talk to you in a little bit. 27-25.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Welcome back inside Royal Brome Pavilion. Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. We are at halftime, and the Nanooks with a 2-point lead over the Falcons on a couple of Paul Johnson free throws to break the tie. And in the first half, the Falcons shot 41% from the floor, the Nanooks 36%. But beyond the arc, the Nanooks were 29%, the Falcons just 25%. And the Falcons have not made it to the free throw line yet in this game. The Nanooks are just 3 for 3. I mentioned the 2 Paul Johnson free throws right before halftime. Falcons have out-rebounded the Nanooks 19-15. Really just off the... there's 4 points that have been scored from the bench in this game, and those are by Trace Evans, who gets a lot of starts. Really started pretty much all the games until he came up with a shoulder injury recently, and they're trying to limit his minutes. But in the first half, the Falcons turned it over 8 times, the Nanooks just 4. And points off turnovers, however, SPU has 6, and the Nanooks just have 4. So despite the double the number of turnovers, the Falcons still lead in points off turnovers as well. So individually, as I mentioned, nobody on the Nanooks with any points off the bench. It was the 5 starters that scored all the points. It's Isaiah Sams-Hoy with 8, and he had 2 rebounds and 2 steals in that first half. They get 7 apiece from Paul Johnson and Elion Zevenbergen, who had 7 in the first couple of minutes of the game and stayed on 7. So Zevenbergen with 17 minutes. Johnson also played 17 minutes, and Sam Toy played 18 minutes in that first half. Not a lot of time from their bench players. Effenberger, I should say, did play 12 minutes off the bench, and Sadu also came in and played 7 minutes. But not a lot of big numbers on the stat sheet yet in this one. The Falcons get 6 points from Jonas Latour. Those are both 3-point field goals, as he goes 2 out of 6 from the floor overall. And he was 2 out of 6 from distance, too. So he did not take a shot inside the arc in that first half. Jackson Knapp with 4 points and 7 rebounds. And they get 5 from Mason Landeck with 3 rebounds. 4, as I mentioned, from Knapp, 4 from Moriarty, and 4 from Evans. So still half the game to go, and this one kind of yet to take shape here, as it really neither team shot the lights out in the first half. Fairly close ball game. I want to mention the other night Julian Mora went out, and it looked like he was may have been a foot or an ankle. He is on crutches, and he's also in a walking boot here cheering on his team this afternoon. But hopefully not season ending, but the crutches suggest it could be. So we'll see how that plays out, though. Around the GNAC, one final in the books. Montana State Billings with a home win over Alaska Anchorage, 66-64. So Anchorage with a couple of close losses this week, and they drop now to 3-6 in conference. Billings gets back up to 4-5. Billings started off 2-0, and then they lost 5 in a row, and they dropped to 2-5. Now they've won their last 2 with a win on Thursday against these Nanooks. And they win against the Anchorage Seawolves this afternoon as well by 2 points. Starting at the same time as this game, Central Washington at Western Oregon. Central Washington with a big lead there over the Wolves. And Northwest Nazarene and St. Martin's, they would have just tipped off a few minutes ago, assuming they got started on time. And Western Washington is at Simon Fraser tonight at 7:30 north of the border. Northwest Nazarene is on top in the GNAC at 7-1. St. Martin's and Central Washington both 6-2. Fairbanks 5-3. Seattle Pacific 4-4. These are the 4th and 5th place teams going at it here this afternoon from Royal Brougham Pavilion. Western Washington, MSU Billings, and Alaska Anchorage came into the day all at 3-5, but as I mentioned, MSU Billings defeated Alaska Anchorage. Simon Fraser 2-6, Western Oregon 1-7. Those are your GNAC standings. We are ready for the second half of action here from Royal Brougham Pavilion, and it'll be the Nanooks to inbound it, and it'll be Jaleo Keith specifically to inbound it to Chris Lee, and we are off and running here in the second half. Both teams with their original starting 5 out there. Here's Johnson being guarded by Knapp, and he'll kick it back to Lee. Lee gets it to Zevenbergen inside, and Zevenbergen steps outside the arc, gets it to Lee for a 3, and that one goes down. And Chris Lee puts the Nanooks up by 5, 30-25. He's got 6 points in the ball game. Here's Landuck on the left wing. Gets it to Latour. Schoenerstedt will hand to Moriarty. Moriarty. And he left the ball behind, is able to get it back. And now Johnson with the block. And Johnson chases down the loose ball there. Paul Johnson getting a block on his former high school teammate as Lee finds Zevenbergen for the bucket. And Elion Zevenbergen on the board for the first time since early in the first half. He's got 9. He had 7 right away in the first few minutes. And the Nanooks take a 7-point lead here. Here's Knapp thinking about it and decides instead to go to Latour for a 3, and that one's off the back iron, no good. Rebound to O'Keefe. And the Nanooks trying to get another bucket here. O'Keefe turns around. That one is off the mark. And Falcons with the rebound. Knapp to Moriarty. And Landek now hands off to Latour. Here's Moriarty for Knapp. And Knapp gets to the bucket, goes around O'Keefe, and puts it up and in. Jackson Knapp with 6 points. And the Falcons down 5. Again, a win for the Falcons this afternoon would put them even with the Nanooks in the conference standings at 5-4. But if the Nanooks win this one, they'll go up 2 games on the Falcons. As Zevenbergen blocked by Schoenerstedt, but the Nanooks keep the possession alive. And here's Isaiah Sams-Hoy. Kefri Fazio saying the shot clock should have gone off. It's at 15. And the officials getting together. And they are going to review this. Interesting, we've seen a couple of reviews. It doesn't seem like they would review something like this normally until the last part of the game. But that was a potential shot clock violation. And so they're making sure they had the shot clock correct. Or if they didn't, they will get it fixed here. Nanooks currently with a 5-point lead. And Kefri Fazio, I think, was trying to say that the shot clock should have expired. But I think they reset it at some point. We'll see what comes of the review. 17:31 left in the game. And it is a shot clock violation. The Falcons are going to get the ball back. So they saw enough there on the review to see that the shot clock should not have reset. And there were at least 30 seconds that ticked off of it. And with the Nanooks in possession. So the Falcons take it back. Latour gets it to Knapp. Knapp finds Landek underneath, and Landek in amongst the trees gets it knocked away. As, he needed to get that one up quickly. But the Nanooks were able to collapse on him. And now here's Chris Lee from the corner, stepping outside and shooting over Schoenerstedt and can't get the shot to go. Falcons with the rebound. And they're back the other way, trailing by 5. Kind of a grinded out type of game against Anchorage on Thursday, and this one kind of going about the same way. Here's Latour, and we get a whistle and a foul. Foul called on Isaiah Sams-Hoy. And it'll be possession to the Falcons from the sideline. It's the first foul on either team here in the second half. Fouls have really not been an issue. Falcons have not even gotten to the free throw line yet in this game. Here's Jonas Latour taking a 3, and that one rims out. Latour is usually pretty accurate from beyond the arc and has a couple of threes in this one, but has missed. And Landek looked like he just took a shot to the stomach there, or maybe below that, as Zevenbergen falls down, but is able to get the pass out to Sams-Hoy, and he knocks down a 3. And The Falcons with the lead. I'm sorry, the Nanooks with the lead by 8. This is going to get us to the media timeout here. As the official blew the play dead. And I'm wondering if they're reviewing something again. We'll step aside though with the media timeout. 15:45 to go in the ball game, and the Falcons getting some subs off the bench. We'll be back in just a moment. Nanooks by 8 with 15:45 to play. Back inside Royal Brome Pavilion in Seattle. Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. As it's an 8-point advantage in favor of the Nanooks. And they have led the majority of the game. The Falcons have had the lead. But not since they had a 19-13 lead. I should say their last lead was 1918. The Nanooks went on a run to take the lead at that point in the game. And the Falcons now with Kinlock, Evans, and Sandberg out there. And Evans gets to the bucket and puts it up and in with the left hand. And Evans in the post there, patiently able to get that shot up. And this is going to be Chris Lee handing off to Jaleo Keith. Now Sam Toy back to Lee. The Nooks up by 6. 8 on the shot clock. And a shot going up from the corner, and it's good from Paul Johnson. And they're going to tee up Paul Johnson. So Johnson knocked down the 3 and then said something, apparently, coming back down the court. And picks up the technical foul. And Frank Ostanek not happy about that. Johnson stays out there for the moment. And Owen Moriarty is going to take 2 foul shots here. Johnson with 10 points. But said the magic words there to pick up a technical foul. And that's not, there's still a lot of time left in this game. Obviously, there's no good time to pick up a technical foul just for saying something. But Moriarty knocks down both free throws, and the Falcons get back within 7, and still 15 minutes to play in the game. And the Falcons have possession as well. So, Johnson with the 3. But now Jackson Knapp walks with the basketball as he got up off his pivot foot. And the Nanooks will take it back with 14:50 to go. They lead by 7. And Johnson will get it to Sadu. Lee now. Out to Johnson. He's going to take another 3, and that one off the mark, and the rebound comes down to Sandberg. Moriarty across midcourt for the Falcons. Trying to get this a little closer here. As Knapp goes to work on Jaleo Keith. Kicks it out to Moriarty. Back in the post to Knapp. Back now to Sandberg. And Sandberg re-enters in the post to Knapp again. Knapp with the jump hook. Can't get it to go. Evans is there for the rebound. And he's unable to get the shot up. gets it out to Sandberg instead. Now Evans still maintains the pivot foot, gets the jump hook up there, couldn't get it to go, and Knapp puts the rebound home, and the Falcons end up with a bucket on that possession, as they were pretty patient on that one, trying to find a good shot, and eventually Knapp gets an offensive rebound to go. Here's O'Keefe to Sams Hoy. And he will drive on Knapp, kick it over in the corner, and another three from Johnson is off the mark. So Johnson hit the three from the corner a moment ago, picked up the technical, and has missed his last two. Falcons down 5. Moriarty being guarded by Lee. And now Moriarty's going to take a three as Evans kicks it out to him, but he's off the mark. Here's Sams Hoy the other way. Gets it to Johnson. And now Sadu taking the three, and that one off the mark. Rebound to Kenlock. Falcons back the other way. Again, trailing by 5. Still trailing by 5, I should say. And Moriarty's going to take a timeout, as Kefri Fazio wants to talk things over with his squad. 12:49 to play in the ball game. And just a 5-point deficit for SPU. Still a lot of time left in this one. Neither team has really been able to seize control. The Nanooks got out to a 9-point lead a moment ago. And their largest lead, it was 9. The Falcons led by as many as 6 in the first half. But the Falcons right in this at 38-33. 12:49 to go in the ball game, and probably should have taken a break here, but we'll keep it here. SPU shooting 39%. The Nanooks shooting 37%, but they have cashed in 7 threes. 7 out of 21, but still 7 threes, and the Falcons just 3 from beyond the arc. 3 out of 15. Both teams perfect from the free throw line, but both teams have not shot very many free throws. The Nanooks 3 for 3, and the Falcons 2 for 2. Falcons have out-rebounded the Nanooks 26-20. But the Nanooks hold the lead here. Falcons have turned it over 10 times, and the Nanooks have turned it over just 5. And Falcons will have possession, and they'll have a chance here to get within a possession. As Latour is back out there, gets it in the post to Schoenerstedt. And Schoenerstedt will hand to Landeck. Landeck drives, shot clock running down. Latour a 3 from the corner. This one goes down for Jonas Latour, and the Falcons are within 2. As Latour hits one from the corner, and he is now 3 out of 9, all from 3-point range. He has not taken a shot from inside the arc in this game. An offensive rebound here for the Nanooks, and Chris Lee puts in a 3 from the top of the key. And gets the Nanooks back out to a 5-point lead, 41-36. Here's Landeck in the front court to Schoenerstedt. And now back to Schoenerstedt again. Schoenerstedt threading the needle there to Knapp, and Knapp draws the foul. Schoenerstedt with a good pass there to get it through a couple of defenders and get it to Jackson Knapp, who was able to draw the foul. Foul called on Elion Zevenbergen. And that will take us to a timeout on the floor. 11:47 to play. And we'll step aside here on the SPU webcast. We'll be back in just a moment.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Back inside Royal Brougham Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you. 41-36 your score as Jackson Knapp will head to the free throw line coming out of the timeout. Still, the only player on the bench in this game that has scored is Trace Evans. He's got 6 points and 4 rebounds. Jackson Knapp with 8 points and 10 rebounds, and he knocks in the first free throw. This is his first trip to the line, and really the only other free throw attempts came from Owen Moriarty in the first half. Actually, not in the first half. It was earlier here in the second half. Knapp goes 2 for 2 at the line and gets to 10 points and 10 rebounds, so he's got a double-double. And the Falcons are within 3. Here is Lee driving around. Landak puts up the jump hook and puts it in. And the Nanooks go back up by 5. Landak hands off to Sandberg. And now Knapp with the ball on the left wing. Landak driving, gets it to Schoenerstedt. Schoenerstedt looking to go up with it there. And I don't know if somebody may have gotten a piece of it from behind. But on the other end, Jaleo Keith knocks in a 3. And the Nanooks back up by 8. Falcons in the front court. Cross court pass. Sandberg commits the offensive foul as Griffin Effenberger draws the charge on Sandberg. Effenberger will come out now as Sandberg and Schoenerstedt check out, and Moriarty and Evans in for SPU. Falcons need a stop here, down 8. Still a lot of time left in this one. They don't want to let it get to double digits. Here's Chris Lee. Gets it out to Sams Hoy for a 3, and that one rims out, but O'Keefe is there for the rebound, and I think Knapp got a piece of it and takes away. Falcons back the other way. Latour struggling to maintain control of it, gets it all the way back out to Landak. And now here is Knapp with the spin move and the floater in the lane, and Jackson Knapp with 12 points. And he gets the Falcons back within 6. Coming up on 10 minutes left to go in the ball game. And the Nanooks with a 6-point lead. Here's Chris Lee. Sams Hoy gets it to Johnson. And now back to Sams Hoy. Johnson drives and hands it off to Zevenbergen, and he is fouled hard. As a foul going on Evans. That's his first. And it'll send Elion Zevenbergen to the free throw line. Zevenbergen out of Edmonds, Washington. Not far from here. And as I mentioned, Paul Johnson from right here in Seattle. Zevenbergen misses on the free throw. The Nanooks with a few players from the state of Washington, a few from California, and a few from Alaska. And they do have a player on their roster from Canton, Ohio. Here is an offensive rebound and a kick out to Johnson, and he misses on the 3. That was a chance there to put the Nanooks up by 9, but Johnson couldn't get it to go. Falcons with possession down 6. Here's Evans. Kicks it to Landak. Landak looking to get it back to Evans, gets it out to Latour instead, and now here's Moriarty driving. Moriarty pulls up in the lane and leaves it short. Johnson with the rebound to Sams Hoy across midcourt. And Sams Hoy leaves it behind, is able to go back and get it, though. Nanooks up by 6 as Sams Hoy gets a screen from Zevenbergen. Now kicks it to him. And now here's Lee, and we get a whistle, and we're going the other way. Zevenbergen called for the foul. That is his second. And Griffin Effenberger will check in for Paul Johnson. Falcons with possession, down 6. And under 9 minutes to play in the game. Mason Landak will get it to Moriarty. Moriarty driving, gets to the bucket, and is able to get the ball back. And now he gets to the bucket again and puts it up and in. Good second effort there from Owen Moriarty as he missed the initial shot. The Nanooks had the rebound, and Moriarty was able to get it right back and put it up and in. And the third foul on Elion Zevenbergen. Moriarty's got 8 points in the game now. And Frank Ostanek is going to get Kathan Sadu back in. Moriarty drew the foul and knocks down the free throw. And so a 3-point play there for SPU gets the Falcons back to within 3. Sadu back in. Sandberg waiting to come back in at the next dead ball for the Falcons. Here's Lee. Gets it to O'Keefe. And now Sadu in the corner. Will drop it back into the corner for O'Keefe, being guarded by Latour. And they're going to get Latour for a touch foul there. A hand check, if you will. Not a term you hear a lot. Not me, anyway. As Sandberg will come in for Evans for SPU. 8:10 to play. And the pass comes into Isaiah Sams Hoy. He'll get it to Lee for a 3. And a foul called away from the ball. Sams Hoy misses on the 3. But a foul on Sadu there. As Landak went flying into the Nanooks bench. And so the Falcons with possession down 3. Under 8 minutes to play. And a nice pass in there from Knapp to Latour, who reverses it in with a dunk. And Latour throws it down. Came all the way under the bucket. And a nice looking dunk there from Jonas Latour. Electrifies the SPU crowd, and now he gets the rebound on the miss by O'Keefe, and the Falcons with possession and a chance to take the lead. Latour is going to give it up to Moriarty. And now Knapp with possession. Here's Knapp backing down on O'Keefe. Knapp gets into the lane and misses the shot. And is going to get called for the foul. And so the Nanooks will take it back. Falcons unable to take the lead on that possession. A lot of time left in this game, 7:14 to play as we get to another timeout on the floor. And we will be right back on the SP webcast. back inside Royal Brougham Pavilion. Greg Sexton with you on the SB webcast. This one's getting good. 7:14 to play, 46-45, Nanooks with the lead. And coming out of the timeout, it will be Alaska Fairbanks with possession. As Falcons now on a 7-0 run, have crawled back to within a point. The Nanooks, though, with possession. Here's Lee, being guarded by Landek. And now O'Keefe with it. Gets it to Johnson. Johnson driving down the lane, pulls up and goes over Evans and puts it in. And the Nanooks take a 3-point lead here. Paul Johnson with 12 points in the game. Here's Knapp. He's got Evans in the post, but he gets it to Moriarty instead. Now Moriarty goes to Evans. Sadu. And now Evans finds Sandberg coming down the lane, and Sandberg puts it in to get the Falcons back within a point. Henry Sandberg with his first bucket of the game. Here's Effenberger in the lane, puts it up, puts it in. Looking for the foul, didn't get it, but he gets the bucket to go, and it's a 3-point game again. Isaiah Sams-Hoy and Elion Zevenbergen ready to check in for the Nanooks at the next dead ball. Sandberg for Evans, and Evans going to work. Now kicks it out to Moriarty. Back to Evans. He's got Sadu and misses the shot, and Evans is able to get the rebound. It's a held ball as O'Keefe was able to tie him up. It'll stay with the Falcons. As I mentioned, Zevenbergen and Sams-Hoy checking back in for Effenberger and Sadu. And the Nanooks have still only played 7 players in this game. Short rotation. Here's Landek, a 3 from the corner, and that one's off the mark. And the rebound comes down to Paul Johnson. Nanooks by 3. With possession, under 6 to play. Zevenbergen for Sams-Hoy, going to work against Landek. Pulls up and puts it in. And Sams-Hoy now with 13 points in the game. And the Falcons down 5. 52-47. Here's Moriarty. Driving. And has it knocked away. And it's out of bounds. Going the other way here. And the official there with an emphatic call the other way. It looked like he may have been calling a foul, but it was just an out-of-bounds call. Going back to the Nanooks, who lead it now with under 5 to play by 5. Lee has it knocked away, but is able to get it back out to O'Keefe. And that shot is off the mark. And the Falcons with the rebound. They come back the other way, trying to get back within a possession again. Knapp driving on Sams-Hoy, gets it to Evans. Evans on Zevenbergen, and they're going to get a foul on Elion Zevenbergen. And that is his 4th. And Zevenbergen didn't like the call. Latour will check back in for Sandberg, and really both of these teams kind of with a short rotation, as the Falcons have only played 8 players in this game, and Logan Kinlock has only played 6 minutes. So really not a lot of players have seen action. Evans banks in the free throw, and however it goes in, it goes in. It counts as a made free throw. He had a good laugh at that one. And he will get another. And that one is short. Trying to take a little bit off to try to not bank it in and hit the front rim. Lee steps back, shoots over Landek, and that one off the back iron. Rebounded to Moriarty. Falcons down 4. Low scoring ball game. Neither team has really been able to get into an extended a run of success for a long period of time. Here's Evans being guarded by Zevenbergen. Kicks it out to Landek. Now Moriarty is going to step inside. He finds Knapp at the bucket. Nice find there from Moriarty, and Knapp was wide open right underneath for the bucket, and the Falcons trail by 2. 52-50. Nanooks with possession. Chris Lee being guarded by Mason Landek. As the clock keeps ticking. Paul Johnson now being guarded by his former high school teammate Owen Moriarty. And here's Sams Hoy with a 3. That one off the mark. Moriarty the rebound. I say they were high school teammates. I don't know that for sure. They both went to O'Day. And they should have been there around the same time. So I assume that they were high school teammates. Here is Latour to Moriarty. And now Latour loses it. And Evans comes away with it. Evans finds Knapp going to the bucket. Lays it up and in. The Falcons collect the loose ball there. Evans gets it to Knapp for the lay-in, and Jackson Knapp with 16 points in the ballgame now, and we're tied at 52. 3:01 to play, and the timeout called from the bench by Frank Ostanek, and this will be a full timeout, so we'll step aside. Falcons have tied it up 52 apiece. 3 minutes to play. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Back inside Royal Brome Pavilion for the final 3:01 in a 52-52 tie. And the last basket there by Knapp gives him 16 points. He's got 12 rebounds as well. And the Nanooks with possession as Landek fights through a screen. Stays on Lee. Both teams shouting instructions from their benches. As here's Sams Hoy. Moriarty guarding him. Sams Hoy forcing up the shot, and it almost rolled in. Sams Hoy gets his own rebound, though. And the shot clock resets to 20. Here's Johnson. Johnson driving. And Evans with the block. Johnson is able to chase down the loose ball, and then it looked like he threw it out. Maybe Evans poked it out, though. And they are going to keep it with the Nanooks. 2:16 to play. 6 on the shot clock for Fairbanks. And the Falcons trying to come up with a big stop here. Evans had the block shot a moment ago. And now here's Lee going behind the back. He's got to force up a shot. And that one does not draw iron. As Ostanek looking at Lee. Lee didn't have much time left on the shot clock. I can't fault him for taking that shot. But the Falcons take possession back, and they have an opportunity to take the lead. Latour gets it to Moriarty. And now Latour takes the pass from Knapp, and Latour turns around and puts it up and in off the glass, and the Falcons lead it 54-52. Here's Lee the other way. Falcons back on top. Here is Zevenbergen, and it's ripped away by Moriarty. And the Falcons with another defensive stand on their end, on the defensive end here, as the Falcons now with possession and a 2-point lead trying to run some clock. Knapp will get it to Evans. And now Landek with it. To Latour for a three from the top of the key, and that one rims out. And Sam's Hoy back the other way. Landek. And the officials are going to make sure that they don't get into it here, as Landek kind of made a football play there on Sam's Hoy. Just got in front of him, and almost looked like he was trying to tackle him if it was a football game. But the Nanooks with possession. Landek with just his first foul there. Here's Lee. Gets it to Sam's Hoy. Under a minute to play. Sam's Hoy driving on Moriarty. Pulls up and leaves it short. And Zevenbergen on the floor. Gets it to Sam's Hoy. Over to Johnson in the corner. And Knapp is going to be called for the foul, as Johnson got Knapp up in the air. This is the 6th team foul on SPU. The next one will put the Nanooks in the bonus. The Nanooks have committed 7 team fouls. And Johnson is going to inbound, but we're going to get a timeout called first by the Nanooks with 47.2 left on the clock, as the Falcons have trailed for much of this game, but they hold the lead at the moment. And this one playing out fairly similar to the game we saw against Anchorage on Thursday, where neither team really got into much of a rhythm or a flow offensively. And the Falcons have come up with some big defensive plays in this one to get back in front by 2. Nanooks with possession, and they will have an opportunity to tie or take the lead with less than a minute to play. 47.2 on the clock. As it'll be Chris Lee to inbound. And Lee will get it into Sadu. Here's Sam's Hoy with Evans on him. And Sadu goes, Sam's Hoy, goes around Evans and puts it in off the glass and draws the foul. And Evans trying to stay with Sam's Hoy there, but Sam's Hoy gets around him. Evans commits his second foul. Sam's Hoy now 15 points in the game. 40 seconds to play, and Sam's Hoy going to try to get the Nanooks back in front from the free throw line. Free throw is up and off the mark. Knapp with the rebound. We're still tied at 54. As that one rims out. And the Falcons with possession. They're going to take a timeout with 31.7 left on the game clock. 22 on the shot clock. And the Falcons will have an opportunity here to retake the lead. They're not going to be able to run the clock all the way down unless they are able to miss a shot and collect an offensive board. But it's looking like the Nanooks will get another possession in this one. 54-54, 31.7 left to play. As for the Nanooks, Isaiah Sam's Hoy, 15.7 rebounds. Paul Johnson with 12 points and 5 rebounds. Jaleo Keith with 6 rebounds, just 5 points for him. And Chris Lee, 11 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. This game has been dominated by the starters for the most part. Trace Evans has 7 points, and Sandberg with 2. And Fairbanks with just 2 from Effenberger off the bench. But Jackson Knapp, 16 points, 13 rebounds. Jonas Latour, 13 points, including a highlight reel dunk where he reversed it in. And Owen Moriarty has got 9 points, 4 rebounds in this one. 31.7 left on the clock. And Falcons with possession. Jackson Knapp to inbound. We'll get it to Landek. And Landek is going to do a little bit of dribbling here. I don't know that the Falcons really are trying to dribble too much of this clock out. Here is Moriarty. Turn around in the lane over Johnson. And the Falcons lead it again, 56-54. Shot clock is off. Nanooks with possession. They don't take the timeout. 12 seconds to go. They do have a timeout left. 8 seconds now. Chris Lee dribbling. And Trace Evans on him. And Lee is going to put up the three, and it's off the mark, and the rebound collected by Moriarty. And that is going to do it. The Falcons win it, 56-54. And Owen Moriarty going nuts as he beats his old high school teammate, Paul Johnson, and has something to say to him. As the Falcons come away with the win, 56-54 in a tightly contested, good defense type of ball game, a grinded out win again. The Falcons 2-0 on their home floor this week against the Alaska Schools in a couple of low-scoring ball games, and the Falcons get it done. Moriarty with the game winner, and the Nanooks drop their second game of the week. They go to 5-4 in conference play. The Falcons get above 500 in conference. They go to 5-4 as well. And this was a tight one all the way. Falcons end up getting it done at the end, 56-54, as Moriarty with the winner got the rebound on the other end on the missed three by Chris Lee, and the Falcons put this one in the win column. Final stats here: the Falcons shoot 44% from the floor. The Nanooks shoot 36%. Falcons were not good from three-point range, 4 out of 18. The Nanooks were 9 out of 30 from downtown. Falcons just 6 out of 7 from the free throw line. Then the Nanooks just 3 out of 6, as a total of 13 free throws were shot in this game. There was a ton of free throws shot in the women's game before this one, as I think over 55 free throws were shot in that game, but just 13 here in the men's game. The Falcons out-rebound the Nanooks 36-31, and it's Owen Moriarty with the game-winning shot and the rebound at the end. Let's take a look at Fairbanks, their final stats. Again, their starters really scored 52 of their 54 points, as Isaiah Sams-Hoy goes for 15 and 7 rebounds, 3 steals. 12 points for Paul Johnson, 5 rebounds. 11 points for Chris Lee. He had 5 rebounds and 4 assists. And they get 9 from Elion Zevenbergen. Falcons with 11 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal from Owen Moriarty. They get 16 points and 13 rebounds from Jackson Knapp, and 13 points from Jonas Latour. Trace Evans chips in 7 points and 5 rebounds off the bench. And Trace Evans, as you may know, typically a starter for the Falcons, but he's been coming off the bench lately. He plays 23 minutes in this one, and had 3 assists as well. Trace Evans did. Had some good moments in this one. But it's Moriarty with the game-winning shot, and then he was able to collect the rebound and run the clock out for SPU. Great ball game here. Goes the way of the Falcons. Coming up here, the Falcons are going to have 2 more coming up at home. They got Western Oregon next Thursday and St. Martin's next Saturday. So they're in the midst of a 4-game homestand. The Nanooks will return home for games against Simon Fraser and Western Washington next Thursday and Saturday. And we're halfway through the GNAC conference schedule. Both of these teams 5-4, and they will see each other again on February 20th in Fairbanks. That should be a battle late in the season. That'll be the second to last week of the season, and should be a good one coming up in a few weeks in Fairbanks. A few games to play before we get there. Falcons win this one 56-54. Have a good night. Have a good rest of your weekend. We will talk to you on Thursday. The men's team will be hosting Western Oregon. That'll be a 7 p.m. tip. Normally, if it's a doubleheader, it's 5:15 and 7:30, but they're the only team in action that night. So a 7 p.m. tip against Western Oregon on Thursday, January 30th. We will talk to you then. Have a good rest of your weekend.